Listen closely. This message is not meant for everyone. If you're disconnected from God's path, if spiritual truth irritates you, if your spirit is asleep and unmoved, this is your moment to step away. What you're hearing now is reserved for those set apart, for the ones who walk with God, who carry His mark, who feel the pull even when they don't understand why. And if you're still here, that's not random. That alone is your confirmation. Chosen one, this message carries weight for you. What's about to be revealed doesn't just touch your thoughts. It reaches your body, your spirit, and the assignment heaven placed on your life. This didn't find you by chance. It arrived at the exact moment it was meant to. The timing is intentional. The window is narrow, and the shift is already in motion. Within the next 24 hours, something inside you will realign. And once it happens, there's no going back. If you've felt different lately, if something beneath the surface has been stirring, this message is going to bring clarity to what you couldn't name. Stay with me until the end. Missing even a small part could leave you uncertain instead of ready. What you're about to understand will help you move forward in peace, not confusion, not fear. Before we go any further, take a moment to engage with this word. If your spirit recognizes this message, comment 777 right now. Let that be your confirmation. And make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share this message with other chosen ones who need this warning. What you're about to hear may permanently change how you understand yourself. Why the chosen one's body must transform. Now listen carefully, because this is where many chosen ones misunderstand what's happening. The body of the chosen was never meant to stay the same while the spirit ascends. Spiritual growth isn't limited to prayer, belief, or mindset alone. That's incomplete understanding. True elevation always affects the vessel carrying it. Your body is not separate from your calling. It is part of the design. When God raises you into a higher assignment, the spirit moves first. Then the body must adjust to support it. If the body didn't change, it would collapse under the weight of what's coming. So what you're experiencing isn't random. It's preparation. From the very beginning, God has always reshaped those He chooses before sending them forward. As responsibility increases, capacity must expand. Your body still carries imprints from old seasons, survival patterns, emotional residue, stress from battles you already won. Those things cannot move with you into the next level. They would slow your discernment. They would distort your clarity. So God begins removing what no longer serves the mission. This doesn't start around you. It starts within you. And often, the body feels it before the mind understands it. Many chosen ones reach this stage and think something is wrong. They feel different and assume they're weakening. They feel tired and think they're losing strength. They feel detached and believe something is broken. But wisdom is required here. What feels like loss is often release. What feels uncomfortable is often recalibration. God doesn't prepare His instruments gently when precision is required. He prepares them thoroughly. Your body is being retrained to operate under higher spiritual authority, and that demands deep-level change. Understand this clearly. New wine is never poured into an old vessel. This isn't just a metaphor. It's a law of transformation. Your body must learn stillness. Your nervous system must learn peace. Your senses must learn restraint. Energy once used for survival is being redirected toward purpose. That shift is uncomfortable, but necessary. Comfort doesn't create readiness. Alignment does. This is why sleep patterns change, why energy fluctuates, why focus sharpens in unfamiliar ways. Your body is learning a new rhythm, how to rest without guilt and stay alert without anxiety. You're being trained to respond, not react, to observe, not absorb. That level of mastery can't exist in a body running on old programs. So God recalibrates you quietly, often without explanation. Silence is part of the process. As the body adjusts, discernment sharpens. You feel misalignment before you can explain it. Certain places feel heavy. Certain people feel draining. Certain habits lose their appeal. This isn't judgment, it's awareness. The chosen cannot afford spiritual numbness. Your body becomes a filter, repelling what disrupts alignment and drawing you toward what sustains it. This is divine protection without constant warning. Another truth few are taught: the body stores memory, fear, pressure, disappointment, endurance. When God prepares you for a new season, those memories must be released. Otherwise, you'd approach the future with reflexes from the past, and that would distort your decisions. So the body enters a release phase. This may feel like emotional waves, sudden exhaustion, a desire for solitude. This isn't isolation, it's integration. Space is being cleared so the spirit can lead without interference. You're being trained to carry authority without tension, power without force, wisdom without fear. Many desire spiritual power. Few understand the responsibility of carrying it. God does. And because He trusts you with what's coming, He's preparing you completely. Nothing you're feeling is wasted. Every adjustment has purpose. You may notice you no longer tolerate chaos. Noise overwhelms you. Shallow conversations drain you. This isn't superiority, it's refinement. Clarity requires inner quiet, and the body learns that before the mind does. That's why separation often happens without conflict. Relationships fade without arguments. Routines dissolve without drama. This is divine order. When the body changes, compatibility changes. God doesn't always remove people forcefully. Sometimes He simply makes you incompatible. Do not mistake this season for punishment. God doesn't punish His chosen through transformation. He prepares them. Sensitivity increases. Discernment sharpens. Tolerance for deception decreases. This isn't weakness, it's precision. A refined instrument must be handled differently. If you're experiencing change, it's because you're being trusted with more. God tunes His vessels before He uses them. And tuning feels unfamiliar, but unfamiliar doesn't mean unsafe. It means new. You are not losing yourself, you are being aligned. What's shifting now is making room for what's coming next. Signs the change has already begun. Now, listen carefully, because this part will confirm what many of you already sense. Before the body fully transforms, it sends signals. God never shifts a chosen one without first awakening awareness. The signs come quietly, subtly, in ways easy to dismiss. But if you've been paying attention, you already know something has been happening. The transformation doesn't announce itself loudly, it reveals itself through patterns. And if you're still here, still listening, it's because these signs don't sound foreign to you. They feel familiar. One of the first indicators is a shift in your energy that has nothing to do with what's happening around you. You may feel drained even after resting, or suddenly wide awake late at night when everything else is quiet. This isn't imbalance, it's recalibration. Your body is learning a rhythm aligned with your spirit, not the pace the world demands. Many chosen ones are being trained to function in stillness, because clarity is strongest there. The body adjusts first, often long before the mind understands why. Another unmistakable sign is heightened sensitivity. Noise feels louder. Crowds feel heavier. Certain places exhaust you faster than they used to. This isn't weakness, it's awareness. As spiritual perception sharpens, the physical senses follow. Your body no longer tolerates chaos the way it once did. What used to feel normal now feels overwhelming because your system is learning how to guard peace. God is teaching discernment without words. Many of you have also noticed changes in sleep, waking up at the same hours repeatedly, especially in the early morning or deep night. This isn't coincidence. These are moments when clarity is heightened. The world is quieter. Distractions are fewer. God often uses these hours to realign the chosen. Your body responds by shifting you from unconscious rest into awareness. Even if you don't pray, alignment still happens. Presence alone is enough. Another sign is emotional release without an obvious cause. Waves of sadness, relief, or calm rise and fall. Tears come without a story attached. This isn't instability. It's cleansing. Your body holds emotional memory long after the mind believes it's moved on. When God prepares you for what's next, those stored emotions must be released, or they would interfere with clarity. What you're experiencing isn't going backward, it's completion. You may also notice a sharp drop in tolerance. Shallow conversations feel draining. Repetition becomes unbearable. Dishonesty stands out immediately. This isn't judgment, it's alignment. The chosen one can't afford mental or emotional pollution. Your body reacts before your mind explains it, pulling you away from what's misaligned because your spirit no longer negotiates with truth. For many, appetite and physical preferences shift too. Foods you once enjoyed suddenly feel heavy. You crave simplicity without trying. This isn't discipline, it's instinct. Your body is learning what supports clarity and what disrupts it. God doesn't always instruct with words. Sometimes He instructs through sensation. The wise pay attention. There's also a strong pull toward solitude. Not loneliness, intentional quiet. Less interaction, less explanation, less noise. This isn't withdrawal from life, it's integration. When the spirit is rising, the body seeks stillness so alignment can settle. Silence becomes restorative, not empty. If you've felt this pull, it's not because something is missing. It's because something is being established. Another powerful sign is how old habits fall away without effort. What once took discipline now requires none. The desire fades. The attachment dissolves. This is one of the clearest confirmations of divine change. When God removes something, He doesn't always demand struggle. Sometimes He removes the appetite entirely. When alignment is real, the body follows the spirit naturally. You may also notice a heightened sensitivity to truth and deception. You sense when something is off, even without evidence. This isn't suspicion. It's discernment activating through the body. Your posture shifts around certain people. Your breathing changes in certain conversations. These aren't coincidences. The body is learning how to protect the assignment. Pause for a moment and reflect honestly. If you've experienced even a few of these signs, comment 444 right now. Don't overthink it. This isn't performance, it's recognition. Awareness strengthens alignment. Another overlooked sign is detachment from outcomes. You still care, but you don't cling. Anxiety loosens. Control softens. You trust more without forcing it. This is a deep shift. As the spirit learns trust, the body releases tension. Muscles relax. Breath deepens. Presence increases. This isn't indifference, it's maturity. You may also notice a change in patience. You no longer rush. You wait without frustration. Or in contrast, You feel urgency where there was once delay. Both are signs of alignment. The body is learning divine timing, moving when prompted, resting when protected. This balance is learned through experience, not teaching. Some chosen ones feel physical sensations they can't explain. Pressure in the chest, warmth, expansion, grounding. These aren't meant to be feared or analyzed. They're markers of adjustment. The vessel is responding to increased spiritual authority. The body is learning how to hold it. You may also feel disconnected from your old identity. Not confused, detached. Labels that once defined you no longer fit. This discomfort is necessary. A new assignment cannot be carried with an old self-image. The body participates by changing how you move, rest, and respond. Identity is embodied, not just believed. Another sign is sudden clarity about what you no longer want. Not from anger, from certainty. You simply know. There's no inner debate. The body relaxes when the decision is aligned. This is spiritual authority settling in. Confusion fades as alignment strengthens. Many chosen ones also report heightened presence. You feel more here, more aware. Time feels different. That's because the body is no longer driven by memory or anticipation. It's anchored in now. Presence is power, and power requires a grounded vessel. If these signs resonate, don't explain them away. Don't rush to label them. Observe, allow, respect. You are not imagining this. You are not behind. You are not breaking. You are adjusting. The change has already begun. And the fact that you recognize it means you're ready for what comes next. What will shift in the next 24 hours now? Listen very carefully. This part requires calm awareness, not excitement and not fear. The next 24 hours are not ordinary for the chosen one. A transition window has already opened in the spirit. When God opens a window like this, He doesn't announce it loudly. He moves quietly, precisely, intentionally. What shifts may not look dramatic to others, but it will be undeniable to you. And once it happens, there is no returning to the previous state. In the next 24 hours, your body will lock into alignment with what your spirit has already accepted. Until now, there may have been physical resistance, even though your spirit was ready. That's common. The spirit often moves first, but in this window, the body catches up. Internal friction dissolves. The tug-of-war ends. You stop feeling pulled in opposite directions. What once felt unstable is now beginning to settle. This does not mean you suddenly have every answer. It means you no longer need answers to move forward. One of the first signs of this phase is inner stabilization. Emotional highs and lows soften. Mental noise quiets. The body stops reacting to everything around it. Music. This is not numbness, it is coherence. Your nervous system is learning that it is safe to be still. And when the body feels safe, clarity arrives on its own. You may notice your breath deepening without effort, your posture shifting subtly, your presence feeling heavier, more grounded. Music. This is authority settling into the vessel. For many chosen ones, the next 24 hours bring a release that words cannot fully explain. Something your body has been holding for a long time finally lets go. It may feel like relief. It may feel like lightness. It may arrive as a quiet peace with no clear reason. Music. This is not imagination. This is the body trusting that the spirit knows the direction. When trust settles, tension loses its purpose. The body releases what it no longer needs to guard against. You may also notice a shift in decision-making. What once felt complicated now feels simple. Not because the situation changed, but because alignment did. When the body and spirit agree, hesitation disappears. You stop rehearsing conversations. You stop weighing every outcome. Music. You simply know what is right and what is not. This is divine order becoming embodied. Decisions become clean, direct, unforced. Another shift in this window is heightened sensitivity to truth. Your body recognizes misalignment faster than your mind can explain it. Certain environments may suddenly feel heavy. Some conversations may feel draining, even when the words sound pleasant. Music. This is not judgment. This is discernment, activating at a physical level. God sharpens the senses of the chosen one before movement. Awareness comes before action, so protection does not require constant warnings. In the next 24 hours, many chosen ones experience deeper inner stillness. Even if life remains busy, something inside becomes quiet. The inner commentary slows. The need to explain yourself fades. Music. This stillness is not emptiness, it is readiness. When the body becomes still, the spirit can lead without resistance. Obedience becomes natural, not forced. Some of you may feel an increased need for rest. Not sleep, but stillness. Silence without distraction. Space without input. This is not laziness. This is integration. Music. Just as muscles need rest after training, the vessel needs stillness after recalibration. In this season, rest is productive, even when nothing appears to be happening. Others may experience the opposite, a sudden surge of clear, focused energy. Not anxious, not scattered, but directed. You may feel compelled to finish what has lingered, to organize, to prepare, to move decisively. Music. This is alignment expressing itself outwardly. When readiness arrives, action becomes effortless. Emotionally, one of the most powerful changes is detachment from triggers. Things that once disrupted your peace lose their control. You still notice them, they just no longer move you. This is not indifference, it is regulation. Music, emotional mastery is the sign that the body has accepted spiritual leadership. You may also notice subtle physical sensations. Warmth, grounding, lightness, expansion. Do not analyze these sensations. Do not fear them. They are simply indicators of adjustment completing. Music. Alignment produces calm, clarity, and stability. Anything that produces panic or urgency is not alignment. During this window, boundaries strengthen. You may feel less available, less willing to over-explain, less tolerant of unnecessary engagement. This is not withdrawal. It is focus. Music. Energy becomes valuable. Attention becomes selective. Silence becomes wisdom. Insight may also arrive effortlessly. You may suddenly understand why certain things ended, why delays were necessary. This understanding does not come through analysis. It settles quietly. Music. When the vessel is aligned, wisdom flows without pursuit. Not every chosen one experiences this the same way. Some feel it physically, some emotionally, some mentally. None are more spiritual than the other. God prepares each vessel according to the assignment it will carry. Precision matters more than intensity. Music. Do not compare your experience. Comparison pulls attention outward when it must remain inward. Trust what God is doing in your body. He knows your history. He knows your capacity. He knows what preparation you require. In the next 24 hours, do not force meaning onto every sensation. Do not analyze endlessly. Do not rush to label what you feel. Let the process complete naturally. Music. Obedience in this season looks like trust. Awareness without anxiety is the posture of the chosen one. Understand this. God often completes internal shifts before external change appears. Do not look for immediate confirmation. The body changes first. The world responds later. Music. This order is protective. Some of the most powerful transformations are silent. Foundations are laid quietly. Strength is built internally before it is tested publicly. God values stability over spectacle. When the next phase begins, you will notice the difference. Calmer, clearer, less reactive, more grounded. You will not need to explain yourself. Your presence will speak. Music. And finally, understand this. Others may not understand what is happening to you. Misunderstanding is one of the final tests of the chosen one. Transformation is invisible to those not walking the same path. God allows this gap on purpose. Your change is not for explanation, it is for alignment. Music and alignment often looks like withdrawal to those who depend on noise, routine, or emotional access to you. Stay present, stay grounded, trust what is completing. If this message resonates, subscribe, not out of habit, but alignment. These words arrive only when the vessel is ready. Remain still. More is unfolding. As your body and spirit shift, your reactions change. Music. You respond more slowly. You explain less. You tolerate less chaos. To people who knew the earlier version of you, this feels unsettling. They may say you've changed. They may say you're distant. They may say you're not the same anymore. And they are right. You are not. What they cannot see is that this change was necessary. Remaining the same would have meant disobedience. Most people expect consistency, not growth. They want the version of you that fits comfortably inside their understanding. But when God begins elevating the chosen one, that version dissolves. Your body no longer reacts the same. Your energy no longer flows the same. Your presence shifts. Those who benefited from your old patterns feel the loss, even if they cannot name it. Music. This is where confusion begins. Your silence may be labeled arrogance. Your boundaries may be seen as rejection. Your stillness may be mistaken for weakness. This is not because you are doing something wrong. It is because spiritual authority does not explain itself. It simply exists, and those who are not aligned with it feel unsettled by its presence. Another reason others struggle to understand you is that your transformation confronts their stagnation. Your growth becomes a mirror. Music. Not everyone wants to look into it. Some respond with denial, some with criticism, some with distance. This is not your burden to carry. God never asks the chosen one to shrink, so others can remain comfortable. As your body changes, you may find yourself withdrawing from conversations rooted in fear, gossip, or complaint. This creates distance, not because you judge others, but because your system no longer resonates at that frequency. Your nervous system is no longer wired for survival mode. You are being trained for stewardship, not drama. Music. Those who rely on emotional access to feel connected may feel shut out. They were accustomed to your reactions, your explanations, your availability. Now that those things have changed, they don't know how to relate to you. Instead of adjusting, many will try to pull you back into old dynamics. This is why God allows separation during transformation. Not to punish relationships, but to protect alignment. Often, the chosen one outgrows environments before people consciously notice. You may still be physically present, but internally you are no longer participating the same way. Others feel this shift before they understand it. They may try to provoke a reaction, just to confirm you are still who you were. Music. When the reaction does not come, confusion increases. That confusion is evidence that the transformation is working. Another reason others misunderstand is because they measure change by external results. They look for visible success, proof, or status. What God is doing in you is foundational. It does not announce itself. It stabilizes you. It prepares you. Music. Until outward confirmation arrives, your calm may look unjustified. Your confidence may look premature. Your peace may look naive. But this is only because they are judging timing without discernment. You may notice yourself speaking less, smiling less in forced situations, withdrawing from constant engagement. This does not mean you are unhappy. It means you are conserving energy. Others who are not preparing for anything cannot understand this restraint. Much misunderstanding comes from projection. Music. People interpret your silence through their own fears. They assume rejection because they fear abandonment. They assume arrogance because they fear inadequacy. They assume distance because they fear losing control. This has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with what your growth awakens in them. God allows misunderstanding because it strengthens discernment. If everyone understood you, you would rely on approval. If everyone affirmed you, you would hesitate less when asked to stand alone. Music, misunderstanding builds spiritual independence. It teaches you to stand without applause. As your body changes, your tolerance for explaining yourself decreases. Not out of pride, but clarity. You no longer feel compelled to justify obedience. This unsettles people who expect access to your reasoning. But obedience does not require consensus. God speaks to you, not to your circle. Those meant to walk with you will adjust. Those who are not will fall away naturally. Not everyone is meant to witness your becoming. Some only knew you for a season. When that season ends, access ends with it. This is not cruelty. It is order. The chosen one often feels lonely during this phase, not because they are alone, but because they are misunderstood. Music. This loneliness is temporary. It creates space for deeper connection later. God protects future relationships by limiting present access. Do not exhaust yourself trying to explain your change to those without the capacity to understand it. Explanation drains energy and invites doubt. Your responsibility is alignment, not interpretation. Let your consistency speak. Let your peace stand. Even Jesus was misunderstood by those closest to him. Spiritual authority has always been confusing to those who measure life by familiarity. As you grow, you do not become more relatable. You become more grounded. And grounding feels threatening to those who rely on chaos. If others do not understand what is happening to you, do not internalize it. Do not question your path. Do not slow down to accommodate confusion. God did not change your body, awareness, and spirit so you could seek permission. He did it so you could carry what is coming without collapse. The misunderstanding is not failure. It is transition. You are no longer where you were, and not yet fully visible where you are going. Music, that in-between space, feels uncomfortable to observers. It is sacred to the chosen one. Stay steady. Stay aligned. Let others misunderstand if they must. What God is doing in you will soon require no explanation at all. How to respond spiritually during this change? Music. This is where wisdom becomes action, and action becomes protection. The greatest mistake during this season is trying to control the process. This phase does not require force. It requires alignment. God is not asking you to figure everything out. He is asking you to respond correctly. And the correct response is not panic, obsession, or fear-based withdrawal. It is grounded obedience. The first response is stillness, not emotional isolation, but intentional quiet. Stillness allows alignment to settle. Excessive stimulation interferes with adjustment. Noise confuses discernment. Overexposure dulls sensitivity. Honor your instinct to step back from constant conversation, scrolling, or chaotic environments. Stillness is not emptiness, it is a listening posture. Music. Another vital response is rest without guilt. Rest during transformation is strategic. The body integrates change during rest. Resisting it prolongs discomfort. This does not mean abandoning responsibility. It means releasing unnecessary pressure. Prayer during this season should be simple, not rehearsed, not forced. Sometimes silence itself is prayer. God understands what you cannot yet articulate. Observe without judgment. Sensations are information, not threats. When discomfort arises, ask what it is teaching you, not how to make it stop. Resistance creates friction. Awareness creates flow. Music. Protect your mind. Fear-based content and constant negativity disrupt alignment. Choose what supports clarity. Follow subtle instruction. A nudge to leave early. A pull to cancel plans. A sense to stay quiet. These are not random. The body often receives guidance before the mind explains it. Avoid over-explaining your process. This is not a season for validation. Ground yourself physically. Walk. Breathe deeply. Sit in silence. These simple acts anchor the vessel. Release the urge to rush outcomes. What is happening now is preparation, not performance. Practice quiet gratitude, not forced positivity, but acknowledgement. Gratitude signals safety to the body. Safety allows smoother integration. Let go of old coping mechanisms. What once numbed you may now irritate you. Familiar does not mean aligned. Finally, practice humility, not self-denial, but openness. You do not need to understand everything now. Spiritual maturity includes patience with mystery. Clarity arrives when it becomes useful. Strengthen boundaries. Say no when needed. Protect your energy. If emotions arise, let them pass without attaching stories. Not every feeling needs interpretation. Some emotions are simply completing their release. Acceptance allows completion. Music. Here is a clean, powerful, narration-ready refinement of your final section. The message, authority, and spiritual depth are preserved, but the flow is smoother, clearer, and optimized for voice delivery, retention, and emotional impact. Subtle music cues are kept intentional. Another response is consistency and simple disciplines. Music, eating regularly, sleeping when possible, maintaining basic routines. These simple actions create stability. The greater the internal change, the more external consistency supports the process. When chaos exists on every level, the system becomes overwhelmed. Simplicity allows integration to complete. And finally, trust God without demanding signs. The need for constant reassurance disrupts peace. Faith during transformation looks like calm cooperation. You do not need to keep checking to see if something is happening. Something is happening whether you monitor it or not. Trust allows the work to finish. Remember this truth. God does not begin a change He does not intend to complete. Your role is not to manage the transformation. Your role is to stay aligned while it unfolds. Respond with stillness. Respond with obedience. Respond with trust. This season is shaping you quietly, but powerfully. And how you respond now determines how smoothly you walk into what comes next. The protection and promise for the chosen one, music. Now listen closely, because this is where fear must completely leave you. God never changes the chosen one without protection. That is not hope. That is law. When your body, spirit, and awareness begin to shift, it is not because you are exposed. It is because you are being covered more deeply than before. Divine preparation always comes with divine protection. If God allowed transformation without covering, the vessel could not carry the assignment. Understand this clearly. You are not vulnerable right now. you are guarded. Protection does not always appear dramatic. It does not always look like rescue or visible intervention. Most often, protection looks like prevention. Situations that could have harmed you never reach you. Conversations that could have misled you never happen. Doors that could have drained you quietly close. You may never see how much danger was removed, because it never arrived. Music. This is how God protects those He trusts with greater responsibility. As your body changes, your awareness sharpens. This awareness itself is protection. You sense when something is off. You feel when a door should not be opened. You recognize paths that look appealing but lead nowhere. This is not suspicion. This is discernment. God does not leave the chosen one dependent on luck. He trains the vessel to recognize truth before harm can form. Another layer of protection comes through separation. God distances you from people, environments, and habits that would interfere with what He is establishing. This is not loss. It is insulation. What feels like isolation is often containment, and containment is protection during refinement. The promise for the chosen one is not ease. It is equipment. God does not promise comfort. He promises covering. He promises wisdom that outpaces danger. He promises strength that forms before pressure arrives. You are being fortified quietly. Change under God's direction does not weaken you. It reinforces you. Before a structure is elevated, its foundation is strengthened. Before a vessel enters deeper waters, it is reinforced. God is not careless with His instruments. If He is changing you, it is because He is increasing your capacity to endure, discern, and stand. Music. You are also protected through timing. God does not reveal the full assignment before the vessel is ready. This protects you from pressure you are not meant to carry yet. Silence is often mercy. Another promise is internal stability. While others panic under pressure, you are being trained to remain calm. This calm is not numbness. It is grounded confidence. When chaos arises, you do not collapse. You remain present. Presence is protection. God also protects you by limiting access to your inner world. Not everyone gets to understand you. Not everyone gets to advise you. This prevents manipulation and confusion. Your inner life becomes sacred ground. The promise also includes provision. Not excess, but sufficiency. What you need arrives when it is required, not when impatience demands it. You are protected through correction. When you drift, you feel it quickly. Discomfort arrives early. This is mercy. You are being built for endurance, not to impress, but to last. Sometimes protection looks like invisibility. You are overlooked, misunderstood, undervalued. This is not rejection. It is shelter. Exposure too early would attract pressure you are not meant to carry yet. You are also promised clarity when it matters most. You may not always feel certain, but when a pivotal moment arrives, clarity comes. God does not allow the chosen one to miss critical steps. Another layer of protection is internal alignment. When the body, spirit, and awareness work together, self-sabotage decreases. You stop fighting yourself. This harmony is protection. The promise God gives you is not just survival. It is authority. Authority rooted in wisdom. Authority that does not announce itself. Authority that stabilizes environments simply by being present. What leaves now cannot go where you are being sent. What arrives later will support you there. You are not becoming weaker. You are becoming precise. You are not exposed. You are enclosed, surrounded by wisdom, guided by timing, covered by purpose. God does not invest this level of attention into something He plans to abandon. The care itself is proof that what you carry matters, and what matters is always protected. You are not walking into danger. You are walking into preparedness. Final confirmation and blessing. Music, chosen one. This message did not reach you by accident. It arrived exactly when your body and spirit were ready. Nothing you felt was random. Nothing you are experiencing is out of order. What has been shifting within you is not confusion. It is alignment completing. The coming hours and days are sacred, not because something dramatic must appear outside, but because something has already been sealed within. Trust the calm. Trust the clarity. You do not need to rush. You do not need to prove anything. You are never walking this path without guidance. Every step is watched. Every adjustment has purpose. If uncertainty arises, return to stillness. That is where God meets you most clearly. You do not need to search for signs. You are the sign. Your peace is confirmation. Your stability is evidence. I speak a blessing over you now. May your body remain strong and aligned. May your mind remain clear and undisturbed. May your spirit stay sensitive to God's guidance. What is meant for you will not miss you. What is not meant for you will not follow you. Walk forward without fear. You are covered. You are prepared. And you are exactly where you need to be. Music fades.